Hello, this is how to install video codecs on Fedora Workstation 42. So Fedora Workstation uses GNOME shell by default. This is a very fresh, clean installation. I have downloaded from the test-videos.co.uk Big Bunny versions videos for MP4, WebM, MKV, H.264, H.265, and AV1. These are the files. So you just select in here the version that you want. And then I have downloaded the 5 megabyte size file. So let's take them one by one. MP4 H.264. This is the one. Double click on it. It plays back correctly. The video player seems to be Totem. Let's see how GNOME names it. Videos. The application videos. This one. Let's see what type of codecs are enabled inside the video player. Says that audio codec unknown. Maybe the audio is just missing. And then video codec H.264 1080p. And this is because I have installed Fedora Workstation 42 using the default settings, which means I have kept at disk partitioning, BTRFS, and separate partition for /home. And then I have enabled the additional repositories for Fedora RPM packages, which also contains the Cisco Open H.264 binary RPM files. Okay, next up, it's MP4 H.265. This is file. Double click on it. Opens with Totem. Totem doesn't know what H.265 main profile is. Next up, MP4 AV1. Works out of the box. Next up, WebM VP9. Works correctly. WebM AV1. And the final one, MKV H.264. It's again working because the video codec, the Open H.264 from Cisco, has been installed on the system. When inside the installer of Fedora Workstation 42, I have selected to enable additional software repositories. And do know that I have installed all of the possible updates. So that's the DNF command line DNF space update. I wondered what is inside the additional RPM repository for Fedora Cisco Open 264, a repository again that's enabled by default by the Fedora Workstation 42 installer if you select to enable additional RPM repositories. The command line is dnf repo list, which lists all of the enabled repositories. One of these is Fedora-Cisco-Open H.264. And then I am using this command line, dnf repo query --repo ID and the ID of the repository. Says that there's only two packages in there. There's Mozilla -Open H.264 and Open H.264 with devel, debug info, etc. This means that I can see where the RPM binary package that adds support for H.264 for Totem, GNOME Videos application, comes from, but I cannot prove that support for H.265, any profile, is available out of the box. So there's no wonder that I couldn't play the H.265 videos the ones available in MP4 container. So for this, on Google, I searched Fedora additional RPM repo. We'll need an additional RPM package repository, one that contains at least H.265 video codec, but maybe also additional video codecs, maybe additional H.264 profiles that are not supported out of the box by the open H.264 RPM package offered by Cisco. There are two pages, the one from docs.fedoraproject.org and the other one rpmfusion.org. They go to the same place. They talk about rpmfusion.org. We're going to use the command line for enabling this additional RPM binary package repository. And I'm not sure that the instructions are up to date enough on this docs.fedoraproject.org page. So I'm going to just read the official instructions. Enable RPM Fusion on your system, the official rpmfusion.org website. There's a bit of unclarity about what free means, but in the case of RPM Fusion, free is what you want. And in the case of RPM binary package pre-installed in Fedora Workstation, you actually do not want the ones with free in name, the RPMs with free in name. RPM Fusion free for Fedora 42. I'm not sure what this thing is doing. We're going to use the command line. On Fedora, we default to use the open H.264 library, so you need the repository to be explicitly enabled. I'm not sure what this thing is. Fedora Cisco Open H.264 is enabled by default. On my installation, at least. Okay, and then it says that I should run this command line. Let's see what the command line does. So it installs RPM Fusion free and RPM Fusion non-free. Yeah, you could not install the RPM Fusion non-free and it's going to be okay, but let's install both. The command line uses a placeholder, this one, which is actually the version of Fedora. In this case, it's 42 for me. Let's actually see what this command line does. So it's just returning 42 on standard output. Is this okay? Yes. And then it says that if you're using a graphical user interface app store such as GNOME software, then it might be a good idea to have upstream metadata. The Fedora groups cannot be extended by RPM Fusion, so you need to mention the package explicitly. I'm not sure how to read these things. So it's installing the upstream -data binary packages from RPM Fusion. So this is okay. So it means that this text is wrong, at least for Fedora 42. There's no need to additionally run this command line if you run this command line. So if you run sudo dnf update space add core, that's going to do this automatically. Install the RPM Fusion -upstream -data RPM packages. Let's prove that that's the case by running the command, and it will say that everything was already installed, all of the RPM packages. Okay, so this text is not correct for Fedora 42. Next up, let's see what's available in the various repositories. So we're going to run the command that lists the enabled RPM repositories. That's dnf repo list. There's the text editor, Control V. So we're interested into RPM Fusion free. Let's see what's available in there. DNF space repo query space -- repo ID. So the list of binary packages from RPM Fusion -free RPM repository looks like this. The various video codecs are so there's ffmpeg. This is an encoder. GStreamer plugins bad, plugins ugly. The ffmpeg thumbnailer. And video codec libHEIF. Okay, and the last ones, the X264 and X265 video decoders. Let's start by installing the ffmpeg. dnf install ffmpeg. So Fedora comes with packages with -free in the RPM package name, such as ffmpeg -free, whereas in the RPM repository RPM Fusion -free, the name of the package does not contain -free in name, it's just ffmpeg. So you need to choose between ffmpeg from RPM Fusion -free and ffmpeg -free from the Fedora official RPM repositories. And what we actually want is the more complete ones from RPM Fusion -free. So says that we can use allow erasing, which is what we want to do. It's going to remove many -free packages related to ffmpeg and install ffmpeg, what we wanted, but we also wanted X264, X265, and the additional libraries that will enable H265 playback in the additional video player. So we want GNOME videos, aka Totem. We want MPV. we want SM player, and we want VLC. All of these four video players should support H.265 video playback. Okay, so that was for ffmpeg. Let's see for VLC. What am I doing? I'm looking at the packages, RPM packages that have VLC in name in RPM Fusion-free repository. There's just one, VLC plugins free world. I'm not sure if it's needed. Let's install it just in case. Is this okay? Yes. We didn't yet install the VLC RPM. Let's install that. And let's check the packages that have GStreamer in name in this additional RPM repository, RPM Fusion-free. There's two. Let's install both of these. I want additional video players. So I want MPV. I want SM player. And I also want YT minus DLP. Let's see. So YT minus DLP is already selected to be installed. MPV and SM player. Okay, so MPV, SM player, VLC, and GStreamer, Totem, GNOME videos. Let's see if what we did was enough. So H.264 we already saw previously. I'm not sure if for H.264 playback the preferred one for GStreamer is going to be the open H.264 from Cisco or the full X264 from RPM Fusion. Okay, so this did not work before. The MP4 container and H.265 video codec. Unfortunately, this properties window does not say where the codec comes from. The audio and video codec should say it comes from this library. And this way we will know if it's GStreamer or ffmpeg or X265. What's the hierarchy there? Next up, just make sure that the other video players that we have installed work correctly both for H.264 and H.265. So open with VLC, MP4 container, H.264 video codec works okay. Where can we see the media information? So in VLC media player, main menu, tools, and media information or codec information is the same thing. So it says that there's audio, there's video, 1080p, H.264, which is AVC1 AVC. But it works correctly. Next up, VLC H.265. Let's pause the video. Tools, codec information, HEV1, H.265. And the other ones, H.265 with MPV H.264. Works okay. MPV H.265. And the last one, SM player. Doesn't say anything about audio, so there's no audio at all, and video is H.264. Video codec H.264. Doesn't say where from, but probably from ffmpeg. No audio codec. And demuxer for the container for MP4 from ffmpeg also, libav format. Since I have opened SM Player, I'm going to hide the extra buttons. So that's video compact mode, Ctrl+C. Open the H.265 version with SM Player. Let's pause using the space bar keyboard key. Right click on the video, shows the context menu, and then view, information and properties. Says video stream HEVC, which is H.265. So this would be it. This is how you install additional video decoders from a additional RPM package repository that is very much in sync with Fedora 42. Some of the RPM Fusion repositories are enabled by default, 2 of them, when you install Fedora 42 Workstation and you choose to enable additional repositories. Those are the ones for the RPM Fusion non-free NVIDIA driver and RPM Fusion non-free Steam. And then we have, in addition to these, added more third-party repositories from RPM Fusion Free, and RPM Fusion non-free, with their minus updates variants. So these two were available out of the box. I just installed Fedora 42 Workstation and selected Enable Additional Repositories. And then these two I have installed from the command line. But the major one is this one, RPM Fusion -3. In here you will find the needed video codecs for H.265 and other patent encumbered video decoders, but also video encoding, video accelerated video decoding, video accelerated video encoding, and the picture decoder for HEIF. So this is it. Thank you.